Now, admittedly, these rooms would have to be pretty big for this to be an issue. But what I'd say is, based on the testing that we've seen or done ourselves on a lot of speakers on the market, there are quite a few speakers, and this could even be true of a full-size tower, that are not capable of producing that 105 decibels, which is a reference level, at a listening position in a room, and this has to be true for each of the left, center, and right speakers. The surrounds are done as a group, so it would have to be all of them together would hit that 105. But for the left, center, and right, you're talking about 105 at the listening position for each speaker on its own, and they need to be able to do this given a certain volume of room and listening distance. So when you get into rooms that are in the neighborhood of 3,000 to 4,000 cubic feet, and you get into rooms where the listening position is somewhere in the neighborhood of, let's say, 10 to 12 feet, maybe even 15 feet, there actually are not a lot of speakers that could hit reference levels in that room. By the time you've hit that level, you start looking at pretty high-end speakers that cost a bit more money. You know, in the old days, we would rely on THX, and we still have THX ratings, but there aren't as many products today that are THX rated as there used to be. So if you're not interested in one of those THX products, then what do you go by? One of the other ways you could do it is you could take the sensitivity of the speaker, and you could figure out how many extra decibels you get based on its max power handling, and then you could add some gain for room gain. The problem is, how much gain you add for room gain depends heavily on the RT60 of the room, so the acoustics of the room, which you probably aren't going to know. And we're also assuming that the sensitivity is correctly spec'd, it's usually not, and that the power handling is correctly spec'd, also usually not. So you end up with a lot of speakers that on paper seem like they should be able to hit reference levels in your room and then actually can't. So again, people undersizing the products, not getting the equipment they really need. But it ends up being something that reviewed well or looked good on paper.